Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Milanisti Downunder podcast. I'm joined here tonight by long-time panelists Armando and Anthony. Welcome, guys. Welcome back.
Thanks, Paul.
Want to give a shout out to two people with their birthday. One yesterday, one today. One's Faz from the New York club. So happy birthday, Faz, and also happy birthday to Yamani, the resident club chef, great friend of ours, comes to almost every game, was the recipient of the first year award of the Clarence Seedorf top for coming the most times to each game. So happy birthday, Yamani. Hope you have a great day. And also congratulations to Katarina as well for getting her Australian citizenship, which is fantastic news. So let's get into the podcast. First of all, actually I want to just quickly thank our sponsors, because we tend to thank them at the end of every episode, but let's thank them at the start from now on. So Dante's, thank you very much. Dante's Deli is a really good establishment. It's really good on the weekend, during the week. They do really good paninis, coffees. They got croissants and stuff like that there as well. It's a really chill place just to have something good to eat and grab a drink. And they tend to always sell out of their panini, so make sure you get in there quick if you're looking to get one. Really good toasties there. And then we have Guardian Temporary Fencing. Rick, thank you very much for sponsoring our club and sponsoring the podcast. Hope to see you one day at a game soon. I'm sure I'll catch up for coffee with you soon as well, but thank you very much for sponsoring us. And also thank you to PPG, Eric. Thank you, Prospect Painting Group. Thank you for this sign. Thank you for thank you for your friendship.
There's no cops watching, or else,
No, this is there's no council markings on it. This is a custom-made sign, as you can see. I don't know why there's holes in it and they're drilled out, but it's okay. So going on, guys. What a I guess week and a half since we last watched the stream. I mean, first of all, Armando, well done on the prediction for the Juve game. It was the most boring crap.
I told you guys. I don't know why no one listens to me.
I don't know. Because of Inter Juve, I guess we're sort of expecting a bit more, So, but yeah, it is what it is. It was just a very lackluster game. I couldn't really tell what Motta or Fonseca was doing. I guess one team didn't have any strikers, so just wanted to play on the counter, and the other team
had no idea.
Well, yeah, had no idea, but expected.
It was resting for Champions League. It was so predictable. You're coming off an international break. Players are exhausted. We got Champions League coming up. It's a busy fixture. It was an opportunity where both clubs were like, "Hey, we'll take a point each." That's literally all it was, and that's what I was saying on the last podcast.
But really strange though, because I know Juve haven't lost, and maybe they're trying to protect that, but at the same time, they look like they're in a position to try and win a Scudetto as well. So I expected them to at least come out and try and attack a bit more, rather than,
I don't think that's their objective this year. I think their objective is not to win the Scudetto. It's to finish top four and to keep building on Motta's philosophy.
So I think us.
Yeah, a bit like us. But I think in this year, considering the Scudetto race is so tight, you've got Atalanta, who are always up there. We always act surprised when Atalanta are up there every year, even though we really shouldn't be. Fiorentina playing really well under Palladino. I'm not sure who called that at the start of the season, but anyway.
Was it you?
Yeah. Palladino, I think, is a severely underrated coach in Italy. But anyway, so I think both clubs were looking at it kind of like, well, probably not going to win the Scudetto. We just want to stay within the race for the top four. We can just conserve some energy, make sure we don't go into this week with Champions League with no injuries. It's more important for us to progress next stage of the Champions League and pocket that extra money.
No, but for Juve, I get that, and I won't spend too long on it. I get it for Juve. They have a lot of injuries and no striker. Coop Miners is a striker. You could tell they were going at it for a point. For us, I don't think we're close enough to top four to just be like, oh yeah, we'll take a point. Like, we should have been going out there saying, okay, Juve's, their squad's abolished. Let's go out there, attack them. Let's get the 3 points. Add Juve to the list of Inter, Real Madrid, and then Juve as wins, and bridge that gap to fourth. Again, if we were second at the moment, or even third, you'd be like, oh, you got a point against Juve, you didn't drop points, cool, and it keeps us in top four, and that would make sense. But we're not even in the top four, so go get those 3 points. Like, we're not in a position to take our foot off the pedal, and that's, again, like we said on the podcast that morning, besides the fact it was so boring, was that, again, at least Juve has an excuse. Like, we
have an excuse. If we lose to Bratislava, our Champions League.
No, dude, we're so clear of the
pretty much
Champions League,
finished.
dude. We're in.
No, I don't think
with
so.
the new Champions League format, it doesn't matter.
We want to get into top 8.
We won't get into top 8.
Yes, we could still get into top 8.
We're not going to get to top 8.
We can now.
But I don't think we will. And for me, it's Champions League, yes. Even if we get into the top 8, how much further are we going to go? 3 points against Juve to make sure we're actually in the Champions League next year, instead of letting me sleep in on a Wednesday and Thursday morning.
Well,
That's more important.
I know there's no Europa League anymore. But you know what? All I'm going to say is you get a hell of a lot more money progressing to the next stage of the Champions League than you do finishing third.
Yes, but you get a lot more money making it to the Champions League next year than not making it to the Champions League.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Look, yeah.
It was a boring game.
It was a boring game. It wasn't good for anyone to watch, so that's it. The next game we played was against Slavia Bratislava, and that was, I guess
typical of our season.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, I mean, we were expected to win. We took away the win. There were some positive signs, which have led to this point with the most recent game, with the team slowly improving. So, yeah, a lot of people have tipped online that this is sort of like a bit of a resurgence now that we're having, and we're showing a bit more unity. So, I mean, great. It's our third straight victory in the Champions League, which is fantastic. So we did build on the Real Madrid victory as well. So yeah, that leaves us in.
Look who we played though. Like you got Club Bruges. We played Slavia, Brata, whatever.
Bratislava.
That one.
Euro trip. Just remember Euro
trip,
trip, and you remember.
I built my own
that's
hotel.
it. Like, I don't know. I do get it. We do look a bit more like unified, and I feel like that's mainly because there isn't as much turmoil anymore. Obviously, as soon as the results start picking up, it's great. All of a sudden, Leao's not lazy and shit, and I don't know what else. But do you know what I mean? Like we're not complaining as much anymore. All of a sudden, Fofana's not an issue, and Teo's not an issue. The defensive isn't even an issue. And then when you look at our stats, you go, actually, like our defense isn't really that bad. My biggest thing, and it's still the whole season, and even now, the games that we win, even I don't know, we'll get onto them, but Empoli game. The game against Sassuolo. We won. That's great. I still don't see a style of play that Fonseca's implemented at all.
My problem is, with this last string of victories, it looks great on paper. The only difference between what's happened in the last 2 weeks compared to what's happened before
It's luck.
is not luck. We've got players coming into form, individual players like Leao, like Teo, who are having better games and having more impacts on games, which is getting us across the line. We are still severely unbalanced as a team where we don't have that midfield. And so on transition, we're getting scored against very easily by Bratislava, by Sassuolo, who are in Serie B.
But that I know I don't want to cut you off, but that goal against Sassuolo, that was all Terriani's fault. Like, how do you get beaten at your near post like that?
All right,
there was a slight deflection as he was coming toward him at
Still
the
a shit
post,
goal.
but yeah, he should
be doing better. Like again, I think if that was Mike,
but he hasn't played very
If it
often.
was
yeah,
Mike,
if it was Mike,
Mike
he's saving
saves
that.
that.
So
But-
like, I don't even mind the goal against.
But again,
Sassuolo.
it's individual brilliance that we're relying on
That's what-
Mike to keep the clean sheet. I don't think that problem is solved yet. I don't think we have that balance yet, and we're still going to get games where we don't have Leao playing well, we don't have Teo playing well, or Fofana playing well, Reinders playing well. And we're going to see, we're struggling here. We can't score, and the team's completely imbalanced, and we're so vulnerable on the counter.
Yeah, like we're not. I still don't believe we're a team with a game plan that executes that game plan and wins. We're a team. We're a bunch of 11 players who every season we need individual brilliance from somebody. Whether it was Leao for 2 seasons, Pulisic last season,
Tomori,
in the Scudetto winning season with Kalulu. This season it's Reinders. Like, he's great, and he's killing it this season, and showing that he's a world-class player, or getting there. But you can see, and I've said it before, he's an 8 who likes to crash the box late. He can't be playing as a 6 next to Fofana, because when he crashes the box late, if the goal doesn't go in,
we're so vulnerable.
And it makes
we're playing with one midfielder.
Yeah, and Fofana is, I think he's been great. I think he's been such a good signing, but we're not helping him by keeping him by. He's not prime N'Golo Kante or Rodri. Like, he's good, but he's not either of those two where they can have a midfield by themselves. And I just don't understand like how Fonseca hasn't seen that yet. And I don't know if it's because he doesn't think we have the personnel. I'll be intrigued to see when Benacer is fully fit, if all of a sudden we do go to a 3-man midfield with or even still a 4-2-3-1, but Benacer and Fofana as the 6s and Reinders as a 10 with Pulisic and Leao on either side. So it's still, it gives you more defensive stability. It's more balanced because you've got Reinders who does a lot of off-the-ball movement and defending, but you've got Benacer and you've got Fofana that are both defensive units. And with Fofana as well, I mean, he got an assist in both of the last 2 games, I'm pretty sure. Like, his passing, I feel like, is very underrated. He's got a fair few assists.
He's always looking forward.
Yeah, and it's always like an over-the-top through ball, which is something we never had.
Don't you think he started to look a little bit tired in this last game? Because he lost the ball quite a few times right in the middle of the pitch, and if that was against any other team that, or even a Sassuolo that didn't play almost their second team in Serie B, looks like they're definitely focusing on Serie B this year. They could have punished us. You know, if Berardi and other players like that were playing against us, it might have been a bit different when he lost the ball. I think it was 3 or 4 times in the middle of the park. So it looks like he's a bit tired, and we do need some sort of injection in January. And I hope what they're saying about Richie is true.
I don't think it'll happen in January, though.
I don't think it will happen at all.
I mean, I can see it happening. I just don't see it happening in January.
I'm sick of getting my hopes up with Buongiorno. We're going to sign Buongiorno. We signed Pavlovic. I was ready to go. I was ready to go get his jersey. I was so excited, and then we signed Pavlovic.
Where are you getting these jerseys from before they even made them?
Well, what I'm saying is, like, it's like Luke. He was ready to go out and buy a Xerxes jersey. Do you remember?
Oh, he was so ready.
He was so ready.
He was dying for that Xerxes. I mean, that could still happen. He's, you know, if it wasn't for his brace.
What I'm saying is, I'm not going to allow myself to get excited by rumours because I would love Richie. I would love him.
It's almost with Milan. I know it's off topic, but like when you see somebody that we're linked with, and you're like, that is the perfect player. It was for me in this last transfer window. That was Fofana.
Yeah, you're
right. The whole transfer window, I was saying, just go and get Fofana. Go and get Fofana. And then I was, Man United are interested. Oh, fuck. And we're not going to get him. Like, I feel like we never get the perfect.
But also because that kid, Jorbachain, was asking for so much money on top of what his value was.
Yeah, well, but the thing is it showed that, like, we were going in for 20 mil, and they're like, we want 25. And I was saying it, 5 mil is not that much. And then West Ham, we'll give you 35. And then why would Monaco not turn around and be like, well, we just got 35. Can you do 35?
Because it's Premier League prices.
Yeah, I know, but still, the money for them was physically there. The player didn't want to go. If the player said yes, we would have lost him.
Well, the player's smart, isn't he? Because think about it. You got a choice between going to Milan or
obviously.
going to fucking West Ham.
I know that, but like...
Or Newcastle. I mean, Tonali, he's in purgatory or hell or something.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't... a proper plate of pasta. He can't even do nothing.
I don't blame Fofana, like, at all, and I think it was great that he said no. But, like, I don't blame Monaco for going, well...
We want more money.
We want more money. Because they actually physically got offered more. But it's like you're going to sell your house and you want to sell it to Amando, but he offers you 150 grand less than me. Do you know what I mean? Like, money is money.
I've heard stories about people getting homes a bit cheaper from shady tactics. Like, yeah, anyway, I won't get into that.
But, yeah, into the games. Like, do you want to start with Empoli? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, we'll talk about Sassuolo quite a bit, and then
we'll go in order then. So Empoli was the last one.
We'll talk about Empoli. So
again,
Empoli,
it was 3.
We still didn't look solid.
It was 3 scrappy goals,
and we still didn't look solid on the defense. I thought, like, individually, players, Rangers played really, really well. And
the emergence of Tijani Rangers, especially from would you say from Slovan? Yeah, but around then, it was definitely after the Juve game. He's now scored 6 goals, this season, which is more than he scored last season. He's playing in a more advanced role thanks to Fonseca, pushing him a bit further up and not having a player like, say, Ruben Loftus-Cheek in that position, which has helped. Tijani is showing like glimpses of what he was showing at AZ now for Milan. So he's lifted up a level. He's now at that Serie A level where now people are saying, well, this might be currently one of the best midfielders in the world. And I think rightfully so. I think he's a great midfielder. He's a great person. He works hard offensively, defensively. He has a really good shot, especially in the Sassuolo game. I know we're playing Sassuolo or whatever, but he took that shot first time and it was like a freaking laser straight into the back of the net.
Yeah, and he read it because the keeper was like...
he saw the keeper was off-footed.
Yeah, I watched the replay and it went right behind him and you could see the gaping hole. And it's like...
Keeper couldn't dive for it.
Yeah, but you think it's an easy shot until you realise like you could see where he looked, where his foot went, and the ball... just directly went into that corner to make sure that like that keeper had no chance of ever getting back to it.
You know what I'd like to know? A stat from last season, how many times Rangers hit the post. Because I remember last season, he was shooting a lot and he had a lot of bad luck. He could have easily had half a dozen goals last season. I wouldn't be surprised if he hit the post at least half a dozen times last season. So I'm not surprised. I think he just needed a season to settle into Serie A, into the team. And now he's getting his reward. I think from last season, we saw the type of midfielder he could be, and credit to him. He's put in the work, and he's proving this year the type of midfielder he is, and potentially could get even better.
Yeah, and it's going to be great if reports are true that we're locking him down on a new contract.
Well,
like
not until the end of the season we'll know for sure whether it's not. But we'll know in the lead up anyway. There'll be reports coming out that it's concrete and it's done.
It looks pretty nailed on already. Like not without saying it's signed to.
I'm not. I don't get my hopes up. Remember when Kessie literally said when he was at the under 21 World Cup? Oh yeah, when I get back to Italy, I'm just going to sign a contract. Don't worry, guys. It's all settled. Next minute, he's off to bloody Barcelona.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's a shit transfer for them anyway.
But you could tell like Tijani is a more honourable type of person and player. We met him in person. He
was like lovely in person.
He seems like the way that we saw him in person. He seems like that's how he conduct business. He loves Milan. He loves the club. So I think he's going to stay. I'm sure.
He seemed very professional. Old school.
Yeah, very professional. Yeah,
he wasn't the type that was well worried about his image and all that sort of stuff. He was just. You could see he just loved the game and he loved the fans and
But I mean that goes kind of back to the point that we were making before. Like again, it's individual brilliance this season, and not even just that. Like I look at the Empoli game, and it was like Teo and Leao had a good 1-2 that ended up going to Morata, who made the forward run. And you're like, that's a brilliant build up, and then he misses.
But then
still, but then his goal is.
Just effectively a rebound shot.
A rebound shot. For Reinders' first goal was a rebound shot. Granted, like it was a good one. You still have to put that away. But again, he's in hot form. So if everything he touches is going in at the moment. So like, again, as much as like, we win and it's great. And I don't want to be negative at all. Like it's great that we're winning. The results are there. Awesome. But I'd love to see, and it's more now, I genuinely don't believe Fonseca has a style of play. When I look at someone like Amarin, who went to United, and after 1 week of training, you can see how they want to play. Even if the results aren't there, you can see that like there is a style of play there. And they drastically went from a completely different formation, from one bold manager to someone with hair. Big changes.
Maybe no style is the right style though.
It's not. We had Pioli for 3-4 seasons with no style, and we've got one freaky Scudetto.
Pioli definitely has style. Okay, even the style that was crap, that was his style. But now it seems like Fonseca in the last few matches has really been planning the match. There's a difference there. It's not so much his style of play, but like you look at the results. Like, I mean, besides Juventus, you don't want to concede, but you want to win. Okay, fair enough. So maybe in that game he was trying more to play on the counter, but we still don't have our centre back pairing sorted out yet. Okay,
that's another issue I put on him as well. Is the centre back partnership?
We don't have the personnel.
If we sign Buongiorno in the off season, different story.
Yeah,
but then again, you sit there and you go, okay, clearly somebody, whether it's Ibra, I don't know who's doing it, but clearly someone's looking at these targets and they looked at, and they would have seen that realistically, we'll all say Tomori should be the starting centre back, probably with Gabbia, right?
He's your favourite.
Of course, he's my favourite, but he's our best centre back. I'll die on that hill.
From a technical perspective,
he's our best centre back, right? So then they went out. Either one, they went out and thought Pavlovic was going to be the starter, which doesn't work with Tomori, right? Or two, he was going to be a backup. Then why is he playing more than Tomori? And also, I don't think Charles is better than Tomori. So why is Charles... secretly, every week, Charles starting. It's the rotation is Pavlovic and Gabbia or Tomori.
I think Charles and Gabbia are very similar. I think it needs to be Charles and Gabbia on rotating and Pavlovic and Tomori rotating. I think that's the most balanced centre-back pairing that we have.
Okay, that's fine, but I've never been a big person to rotate your centre-backs as often as we are. Especially when we started so poorly and it was mainly defensive. Just solidity and play. I feel like it's so underestimated, just the same team playing all the time.
You can't this season. There's too many games, man.
No, I know that, but don't make too many changes. You know, at the end of the day, if your main partnership is Gabbia and Tomori, play that 9 weeks out of 10. And then your games against Sassuolo where you should be winning.
I do want to say one thing. When you're playing as high a line as we're playing, centre-backs get a lot more tired than what they do playing other systems. And our centre-backs are doing a lot of running. So to play 2 games a week at that intensity...
but that's also Fonseca's style.
Correct.
Because with Roma, it was the same thing, and he discovered Mancini by doing this. So like this is part of his style. It's very helter-skelter and actually trying to attack.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just look at it and go like, I don't think Pavlovic's ceiling or Charles' ceiling is higher than Gabia's and Tomori's.
They'll work it out. Look, there's still plenty of the season to go. I think he is sort of looking for like a solid pairing, and I think eventually he'll find it. But like you said, there's players coming into form. They've played a lot of games now. They've done a lot of training. So if there's a time, it's now, because we're starting to come to a point where we're going to be racking up a few more points. So, I mean, against Slovan here, we got the goals early. He did what he needed to do, and then we just need to hold on. And anytime you travel away to a team like this, it's always a worry for a team like ours. So full credit for the win there. Against Empoli, I mean,
it was a professional win.
This is another stat though. With home games, this has been Milan's best record at home defensively in the last 20 years. So you can't take anything away from Fonseca and the way he's been using centre backs at home, because it's been working. Right. The next thing is Milan versus Sassuolo. We smashed them. Serie B side playing their second team, not really concerned with the Coppa.
Chuku and Calabria's level, both in Serie B, where they belong.
It keeps them happy at least, you know. It keeps them happy, I guess. The next game now is Atalanta. So we come to this time now talking about this game. So
wait, Paul, who's that? Pronounce that one. God, pronounce that
it's
one.
Red Star.
Savedsa.
It's Red Star Belgrade.
Red Star, yeah.
Yeah.
Red Star. Yeah. That just means Red Star...
Belgrade.
Okay. Anyway, so Atalanta is going to be one of our toughest games. With Atalanta, we've had games where we've been smashed. We've had tight games. We've had games where we smashed them. I don't know really what to expect from this game, because I think Gasperini will be looking to make a statement in this game that he is a contender. And I think that plays into our hands, similar to the way that, you know, Lazio, when they come out rambunctiously versus us, it sort of plays into our hands, because they want to, you know, they want to win. Any team that plays like that, they want to win against us. We have the chance to counter, gives Leao space to move, Tammy space to move, Pulisic plenty of, I guess, time to be creative and put balls into space for those players to run on. I think it's going to be a good game. Okay, it's not going to be like at Juve, because... Look, Motta's basically Allegri 2.0, but Gasperini, as we know, he whips the crap out of his players to perform. And you got players like CDK, you got players like Zaniolo and Retegui that are scoring goals, providing assists, and are looking lethal. So if they're going to be looking lethal, they're going to be attacking, and I reckon he'll play a bit into our hands. We might as well do the tipping now. I'm going to predict for this game there's going to be a 3-1 win. Okay, I think that we got the quality, we got the results behind us, the confidence to really put on a really good performance at Geewee Stadium. I don't think that we'll go away with a clean sheet, because they're too good. Yeah, we rarely do. But I think there's a chance that we upset Atalanta. I'm going to say upset, because it will be an upset away. And but you know me, you know, I never really tip against our team anyway. Armando, how do you think this game's going to go, and what's going to be your prediction?
I kind of have to agree with a lot of what you're saying, Paul, because I think if we look at this season as a whole, the games that we've come away with and played the best is when we play those teams that attack you, that bring the game to you. It's the low block teams. The reason why we struggled so much against Juve was because they came out to play low block. That's what they did. They had no intention of playing the ball, and we struggled. And I think that if we look at the games where we haven't got the results, it's teams that have just come out with that mentality. They're just going to man mark, and they're just going to make life difficult for you and play in the counter. Atalanta are not that team. The teams that we've played, like your Inters, your Real Madrids, where they've come out to play, they're the ones we've done the best at. And I think that this weekend, we're going to actually see a much better performance as a result of that. It's going to be a much more entertaining game. I actually think we defend better, because we'll have players positioned behind the ball. We won't be caught on the counter, hopefully, as much. We'll be a little bit more organised. So I actually think we get the clean sheet for once, and I think we win 2-0.
That's the only dangerous bit, is that when we push up like we have been sometimes with our centre back. So hopefully Gabi is playing, and I hope either Tomori or Chow is alongside him. Those more experienced heads.
It has to be Tomori.
Has to be. And I really hope that Teo is on his game, because you're going to have players like Lookman as well. I mean, yeah, they always look like they never have any injuries, and they never, there's never a problem with Atalanta when they come and play against us. So they're going to have a full squad. So yeah, 2-0, fair enough. We're going to keep a clean sheet against a team that's gone 5 wins on the trot. I hope I see that. But I still think someone like Lookman or CDK, I mean, CDK probably going to get a goal against us, let's be honest.
I reckon CDK plays absolutely terrible.
Anthony, what do you think?
He's getting a start up.
He's getting his fault.
No, because I was looking at it because you were saying, they're 5 wins on the bounce. They're actually 8 wins on the bounce.
Yeah, okay. The last
They're the
5.
most informed team in Italy, right?
Yeah,
now.
definitely. So on the basis of all that, I'm going to say a 3-1 loss. Unfortunately.
That's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they look too strong, to be honest. Like, I agree with everything you guys are saying. I do.
But the odds are stacked against us.
I just don't see us not conceding a lot. And, like, yeah, I don't know. Like we were saying earlier, Milan's not a team where it's the team that are going out and doing something. It's individual brilliance. Atalanta's the opposite. It is like, it's individual brilliance where CDK can get 3 assists and 2 goals in one game. But the whole team is playing really, really well. So it brings it out of them. And I just think, like, there's a good chance. But you look at the Madrid
game, we played as a team.
Yeah, but it's not, again, I just feel like not every week we go out and do that. And that just scares me, the fact that, like, don't get me wrong, I can see it. I can see exactly what you guys are saying. I can see a 3-1. I see it 3-1. I can see it 3-1 Milan because we just catch them on counters and we kill them on counters. Or it's 3-1 because we try playing on counters and we score a goal from it, but we just can't stop them. That's my worry. And also, again, with all the rotation and stuff like that, I just don't know what defense lineup he's going to put out there. I don't know. I'm not confident.
I think he has to play what he's been doing recently with Musa on the right-hand side, giving a bit of balance for Emerson and covering him, and also Fofana more on that side as well, covering on that side. So I think if he does that and sort of strengthens up that right-hand side, because you're not really going to have many problems with Teo and Liao. Magnan should be back, hopefully. But even then, even with Sportiello players, I'm not that concerned. He's playing against his old club, so he'd be pretty familiar with that ground. But I know Teo was his Homelanders in the last match didn't make it to the game, and Magnan did have some dental surgery, which prevented him in the last match from playing. So, I hope they're both back. But if not, then we're just gonna have to put our strongest team out there, and then just really hope for the best. And
can I just say one thing with what you were saying before? Like, I think it's not, depending on the opponent we're versing, like, I think having Moose on the right hand side is fine, to double up on your players like Vinicius and stuff like that. I think, like, the wings aren't huge for Atalanta, and I just feel like having Musa on the right and say Teo as the 10, Pulisic as the 10, we get less out of Pulisic in the middle than we do on the right. We're missing out on attacking on the right, which is why I don't understand why we don't play a flat 3 midfield more with Pulisic then going to the right. Because when Musa's back defending with Emerson as well, if we go to launch a counter and Pulisic's in the centre, we just have, and Fofana's on that right-hand side as well, we have nothing up that wing, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
I think
I don't think, but they tend not to do that, do they? They sort of, from every time I've seen that right wing used properly, like you said, Musa does cover for Emerson. They recoup the ball, they recycle it back through the defense, or they launch it straight away onto the left hand side of the pitch for Liao. So that's what I've seen, and that's when you see, like, your Fofana giving a great assist to Liao, or Reinders getting onto it and then spreading it to Liao. So I think it's like they sort of suck him in on that right hand side because they know that teams think that it's a weakness that we have. They suck him in, get the ball back with Fofana, Musa and Emerson working together. And Emerson did play quite well in the last game. I know Serie B side, whatever.
So we found his level too. Half our team's gone to Serie B.
He's improving.
Even against Empoli, he was not too bad.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad. He put in some really strong challenges, and I was starting to feel a bit better about him playing. But they get the ball back, and then they counter-attack on the left and shift it straight away on the other side of the pitch. So I can see some logic there, and I can see a pattern of play, and I hope it pulls off.
I'm just scared that's going to get predictable, where they start reading that Whereas again, if we go to a more flat, say Benacer when he's healthy comes back in, right, and you have say Benacer helping Emerson on that right hand side or Fofana, and you have a midfielder dropping back, right, it'll leave three. You'll leave your Leao, Morata, and Pulisic up top. So then it's a bit more like you got three players running at the defense. They don't know which one it's going to. Whereas now, like you still do, but it's all either the left hand side or down the center. And it just feels like again we're funneling straight to Leao, which sometimes can be great. But then if he's off, Pulisic's again too much in the center.
If he's off, then we stick Okafor on, and then we hope for the best there. You know, in that situation.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I'm predicting.
What about Morata? Do you think he might get a goal this next game?
Anthony needs a goal.
Bro, it's fine. We've got 24 games left. He only needs one every 2. We're fine. Look, is he started a bit slower than I thought? Yes.
I'm telling you, it's not. In all due respect to Morata, I think he is a great player, but he's not a traditional. He's not a Giroud that scores a lot of goals because he's hanging off the last man and he just bangs them in. Morata creates goals. He draws out defenders to allow players to attack at the goal. That's what he does. He doesn't get large numbers. He's never scored more than 15 goals in a season ever.
That's why I didn't say more than 15. I said he has to score 15.
The most he scored when he was with Juve, I think, was 10 or 11 goals.
Yeah, so it's not that far off.
He can do it.
I think a goal every second game isn't like if we come back on the podcast and there's like 10 games left and he needs 10 goals, different story. But 12 goals in 24 games.
I still can't believe how stubborn you are that you still can't concede to say that, Armando. You were right. You were right about the Juve game, and you're right about
you're right about the Juve game, and I agree that you're right about the type of player Morata is. I believe and still believe that last season Giroud got 15 goals, and we might as well have put that fucking chair over there up top and kicked the ball into him and hope they win in the goal.
I don't understand how you can hate on Giroud so much. I get it that he doesn't track back, he doesn't defend.
He didn't fucking do anything. I don't want to get into it.
I
don't want to get into it because I've had a nice season of not having to watch him every week. So let's just breathe past this.
Understand
Giroud was in the right place at the right time.
Exactly. He's a traditional number 9. What do you want? That's what he does.
But Morata,
Paul, come on. I mean, we watched a lot of games in this room together, Paul, last year.
I know, yes, we did.
And a lot of swearing happened about Giroud. He was not good.
He was not able to contribute as much, but he did what he needed to do.
But he tried too many flick-ons and too much bullshit that never worked.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the thing. If he literally sat in the box and didn't fucking move, and he set up a picnic there for the whole game, I wouldn't have cared. But it's the fact that I had to watch him pretend to track back, chase down a player with his one pace on FIFA, and then try and do a back heel and fucking miss every player, or try a back heel when no one's behind him.
But now we got a striker that does the flick-ons and everything else really well.
And it works.
And wins the free kicks. But then he won't score over 15 goals. So it's like we've gone from like here to
and there's nothing wrong with either.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I actually prefer the Morata because I feel like you're more solid.
Definitely.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking Morata at all. I'm not saying if he doesn't score 15 goals, he's been a bad transfer. I think he's been exactly what we need because he's allowed Pulisic, he's allowed Reinders. He'll eventually, hopefully, allow Leao to score a few more goals. But that's the difference. You want to know the difference between Pulisic last season and this season? Is Pulisic has had more space to move because we've got a player like Morata that's drawing the defenders out of position.
I agree. And again, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. I agree 100%. I just believe he can score 15 goals. Like, if Giroud had scored 5 last season, I wouldn't have said Morata would score 15. But I looked at Giroud and went, well, fuck, if he can do it, Morata can do it. I can do it.
I'm also kind of happy that Morata's not like 100% all the time, and that he does sort of need to make way for other strikers because he's not. Like he's getting older and he can't really stay up there every game one after the other. So I know in the last training session, apparently Kamada was training like an absolute beast, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something from him even in the next game, even if it is very important. I can see him being used, especially because he wasn't used against Sassuolo, and he seems to get closer and closer every time. And
I reckon he scores this weekend. That's my prediction.
If he scores, this room is going to be a fucking mess. I can tell you that. There's going to be new holes in the wall. Hopefully Marco comes and he'll probably die right there on the spot. I don't know what happened, but
Is it Saturday morning or Sunday morning?
I thought it was Sunday.
Yeah, you confused me.
Yeah.
You confused because you're like, oh, it's Sunday morning.
No, Saturday morning.
Nah, I fucked that up. On the topic of strikers, do we sign Abraham?
No.
I don't think we can. I think after this season, Roma actually will need him, and I think they actually lost
In Serie
this.
B?
They lost this. They lost this trade between Salamakers and.
Oh yeah, I forgot he went that way.
He's gone.
Yeah, exactly. You forgot because they're not like. Yeah.
Did you see they spelled? Is it Dobrik, whatever his name?
that's
They
what his
spelled
name
it
was.
wrong.
Dobvik instead of Dovvik. Yeah, Dobvik. That's another player that I mean, I'd rather him, to be honest. I'd rather him to come, but whatever.
I think it's silly to sign Abraham. I think we should start using Kamada more.
Yeah,
I mean, I still feel like we'd probably need a third still because Jovic will
Jovic.
go. No, Jovic will go, and then
he's
if
gone.
like if the opportunity is there for Abraham for like
Jovic
10 mil,
will-
he shows a lot of passion, and I'm just like, don't get me wrong, what would change is Morata would go number 1. Kamada would go number 2, Abraham number 3 for that 10 million. Like I've seen, I know Paul, you put it in the group chat before about Jonathan David.
Yeah.
And on a free transfer, and I was was another
you-
player. The
you
whole of
you
last
would get
transfer
ex-
window,
you'd
all
get
I
excited.
wanted
Yeah.
was Jonathan David.
But he's
Now I don't
saying-
think he comes.
Nah, I think he'll
'Cause
go
he
to
won't be number
Barcelona.
1.
He really wants to go to Barcelona.
Well, not only that, he'd probably want to be number 1 again. If we'd got him last one and he was number 1, Kamada was number 2. Like I could understand that, but like, yeah, with Kamada coming up and Morata still not being so old that he won't play 9 out of 10 games. Like I just think as much as I do want Jonathan David.
I feel like I would not be surprised to see Inter sell Turam and sign Jonathan David.
Yeah, well, it's a free transfer and it's Inter, so of course.
And
I swear to
they'll
God,
make bank on him.
if Inter signed Jonathan David's microphone's gone through that window.
I can see it happening.
I hope Inter sign Gianluigi Donnarumma. I hope.
No, but it's not a free
no,
transfer. They got no money.
No,
I
this
will
is a
travel.
free transfer.
I will travel
Is his
all the way to
contract
Milan.
out?
His contract's up end of next
End
season.
of next season.
Oh, so
And
it's
they're
not.
talking about it.
it's
They're
not
talking about
this season.
replacing him and Sommer. You know they'll sell Sommer for like.
Sommer's
30.
pretty old though.
Nah, they'll still sell him for some money.
I thought at the end of this season he
some
was a free transfer.
unsuspecting
No,
EPL
no.
side will sign him. You know, not Nottingham Forest or some shit will sign him for 30
Yeah,
million.
or he'll go back to like Germany. He'll go to like
and
Borussia
look at
Mönchengladbach or some shit.
Look at Jovic. He'll go to Shevena Zvezda.
Yeah, he'll go there.
Do you reckon Pavlovic is going to play against Red Star? He probably knows most of the players.
Yeah, he might.
He'll start headbutting him.
Did he come from there?
He's Serbian.
He's Serbian. Yeah.
Did he play there?
I don't know, but he's
I
Serbian.
don't know if he
I mean, to be fair, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a red card for us yet, considering the last 2 international games he's played, he's gotten red carded twice. what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm expecting like a Paletta style tackle down the wing.
I'm expecting him just to boot
Where
somebody.
Emerson Royale just completely misses the player, and the player just comes through, and Pavlovic just gets so frustrated, has enough, and
well,
bang.
you saw in that Sassuolo game who was at their long-head striker midfielder that was running through on goal 1-on-1, and he just comes out of nowhere and gets it sort of cleanly. Yeah, I felt almost like if that was Inter, that would be a penalty. But look. Actually, I like Pavlovic.
Look,
I
he's
don't
definitely
mind
good.
him.
He's
I don't
really good
mind
at those last ditch, like kill your,
Yeah,
break your
like,
ankle tackles.
he throws
but
himself
He
in front of
does,
the ball.
and we love that passion. But then when you see him and he throws himself 9 times at the player and probably gets him twice.
I wish I could take 10% of his aggression and his commitment out and put into Tell right now.
Yeah.
Because you see Tell, whenever a shot is coming in off that wing, he'll just shy like this. He'll shy to the side, and he won't put his body and he won't look at the ball. Like it just seems like he's lost a bit of, grinta. He had grinta, and now he doesn't have it as much.
Look,
anymore.
he hasn't versed Dumfries in a while, so wait till we verse Inter again, and
Yeah,
then
he
it comes
needs
out.
someone to really fire him up. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, he does not like Dumfries.
No,
Speaking of Tao, we're just going to get onto a little bit of the news that's been floating around. I'm going to show you guys these images. I'm sure all of our listeners have seen some of these images too. This has come from Fabio Corona, the
Giorgiolo.
Yeah, the pezzo di merda of Milan, basically. Someone that's always releasing bullshit.
But when are they saying this was? Because if they're trying to say that was Teo from last week, his hair's longer. He's got a mullet. That's not. Yeah, that person hasn't got a mullet. As someone with a mullet.
I'm looking at these images and for starters, how this got onto a network and had presenter. I can't remember what this freaking presenter's name was, but he was saying, "Oh, we've got this footage of this Milan. One of the Milan team's players, a high-profile player that's committing bloody violence against women in a video in a restaurant."
Well, that's saying the hard R there. No, a little bit up. That's saying that word.
Well, see, that I didn't see, but that's bullshit. So you see these images and they're so poor quality and you have no idea what's going on. You can't see a woman in it at all. You see all these bottles and crap on the table, but you don't know what the deal is.
Isn't that a chandelier?
I don't know. Is that a chandelier?
That looks like a chandelier.
Look, exactly. The video, the shit's so bad quality that you can't even tell what the hell's going on in it. And I don't know how they can do this. And it just seems like another one of those ploys just to take the focus off Inter and what the hell's going on there with their players, fraternising with Inter ultras and basically those ultras being the Dragheta and the Mafia. It's just like another strategically piece of shit news to take the limelight off them and put it onto us in a bad way. So for any Milanisti out there, I wouldn't worry anything about this footage and these videos and this dickhead called Fabio Corona. I hope he's listening and he knows that he's a fucking piece of shit.
We're going to end up on this fucking news site. Podcast from Adelaide, Australia, talking shit about us.
Yeah,
They
involved
went
in
next door and bashed people up.
domestic abuse. It's fantastic. If I was Tao, I would sue the shit out of this network and this guy for being.
I think the fact that no one's really the club's not talking about it and Tao's not talking about it shows that they just
care.
laugh about it because they just think it's comical.
Like he was saying stuff like that Milan's putting it under wraps, like they know full and well about it, and they've chosen to hide and they've paid off the girl and everything. You haven't heard from her at all. So
well, how much? What do they think Milan is? Like the mafia bot? It's a fucking football club.
You got here the owner of the restaurant, Michele Giglio, categorically denied the rumours through an official statement. So even the guy that owns the establishment is denying this ever happened. Look, Tao has a wife. He has a kid, one on the way.
Yeah.
I don't see this being consistent with the type of person that we met. I mean, I know some of the French players are a little bit funny, like you've heard things about some of the French players in that national team and things.
Yeah,
that they've
Giroud
done.
was a bastard when we met him.
He was lovely.
No, he wasn't. He was a bastard to me.
He was so friendly. That's because he probably heard you talking shit about him.
Do you know what?
Do you know, so nice.
No, do you know why he was probably a bastard? Because I pulled my jersey before he came, and I was
You
like, I'm not
did.
getting him to sign
You
it.
did.
And then he looked at me, and I went, now I got to get it out, and I
Yeah.
got it out, and now I regret it.
I don't blame the poor bloke. You were so
Poor bloke, he gets paid millions.
was-
Fuck off.
There was pictures of Alana and Eric getting a photo with Giroud and then Tao photo bombing. Like they seem like fun guys,
Oh yeah, Taylor was fine. Just Jury was an asshole.
I was watching them all play roulette. They're interesting bunch.
just quietly. Have you also seen Taylor's wife? Trust me,
Jesus,
he ain't going for
that.
he ain't going after another girl. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Anyway, so that's one bit of news. Let's see what else is happening here, because I'm not surprised sometimes with half the crap that I see on Sempre Milan and the different articles.
What do we think of the 125th anniversary?
What do you think about the 125-year kit?
We were talking about it before. As a concept and the actual jersey itself, I can understand. I think it's a great idea. It's cool. I keep knocking him over. Sorry, buddy.
You keep knocking the table.
I get very excited. I'm not. I like it, but I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not buying it more because I get it as you buy it as a memorabilia piece. You're like, I got the 125th anniversary kit, and I get what it looks like. It looks like the original kit from 125 years ago.
Wow, really?
Really?
What were they going for?
You know what, dude? I almost said 150 years ago, and I went, hang on a minute, that's not right. I get what they were everything's perfect as to what they were trying to do. They achieved it. I just don't want to buy it. But the one thing I will say I like about it, and I wish we had it on all of our jerseys this year as a nod, because we've got the 125-year little crest on the back.
Yeah.
I would have liked, if we were allowed to do it, to have the
original logo.
the original emblem on all of our kits this year. That would have been awesome.
We
I would have
did
loved that.
something similar in 1999. Our kit for the full season was the thin stripe, and we had we
did it with the
English cross.
Did we do it with the
English
one,
cross. Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
120
yeah.
years? The jersey we were talking about before has the English cross on it as
Yeah,
well.
with the cross of St. George, which is the symbol of
So
Milan.
I would have loved the badge just on all of our jerseys this year. I think that would have been amazing. But yeah, I'm just not buying it just because I would never wear it.
You know who bought it?
You did.
I bought it. I think it's.
Are you buying it? Or am I buying it for you?
Yeah, you're buying it for me
Okay,
when you
there
go
you
in a couple weeks. But do you know why I like it? And I was saying this before. I just think there's just something so sexy about a kit with no sponsorship on the stomach.
No sponsorship on the stomach. No, just a little tiny
No
nod to Puma on the
patches, nothing.
thing.
It's just
I'm
it looks,
the opposite, man.
it looks sexy. Look at Chelsea's kit. I don't necessarily like the actual look of the kit, but just not having that sponsor.
No, but like when you get those
And
kits,
no names.
No names.
Numbers, no names.
I just think it looks so classy.
that doesn't really bother me. But like, when you see not even just Milan, but like you see some of those kits where you're just like they're like the sponsor on the stomach is synonymous with that team and that jersey. Like us with Opal or is that how you say it? Opal, yeah, however you say it. Like that. Like I just feel like that's synonymous with us.
I think Win for me for the
B-Win.
B-Win when we
Yeah,
won
that one too, the
Champions
B-Win one. Yeah, like there's just some sponsorships where you're like,
I think of Kaká.
Donny.
Look, I get you, but I just think from like to wear out, in public and things like that, I just think that just a kit with no sponsors just looks sexy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the opposite of that, but yeah, it's
For
not
me,
bad.
So yes is the answer. I'll be.
I mean, I think I would have maybe bought
Size
it
medium,
more.
please, then.
Okay, no worries. Maybe large. You got a bit of a punza going on.
That's why I need a medium.
I think maybe if it was a short sleeve version, maybe I might have indulged a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about it that's not. Again, I think
I'm a slut for a long sleeve Guernsey.
so am I. I bought this year's away jersey at long sleeve, but like. They did a perfect job. I think it's amazing. I think it's the perfect jersey for what they were trying to do. I'm just not buying it. But speaking of jerseys, we were talking about this before, so we want to share it with everybody. Me and Amanda had a revelation this weekend when we were watching the
yes, this is
Empoli
hot,
game.
hot off the press.
I'll give a little bit of a backstory though. I was thinking this the entire game, right? And I was like, I'm going to put something in the group chat, but I just didn't do it. And then Amanda messages and goes, "Do you want me?" I'll say it.
Yeah, you say.
Amanda goes, "Why does no player wear long sleeve kits anymore? It's always a short sleeve with the skins." And it's exactly what I was thinking. Every single player on the pitch, not just for Milan.
Even the goalkeeper.
But not just Milan. Empoli, not one of them was wearing a long sleeve jersey.
Yeah, but fair enough. Empoli probably don't have enough long sleeve jerseys to fit out the whole club.
Yeah,
But do you think it's because maybe they got their player tracker equipment and it's only inside of like skins?
Yeah, but
or
you can
something,
wear
or?
like a singlet or a short sleeve skin or one of those bra things that they wear.
Yeah.
I just think I look back and you brought up Ronaldinho, but I just think of Pato, I just think of Kaká wearing those long sleeve kits with the baggy sleeves. That's
retro and like
Exactly.
sexy.
We're about to see it now. I guess.
Are they wearing that kit?
Yeah, but they're going to wear short
Against
sleeve.
Genoa.
I've seen the short sleeve.
Oh, they're going to.
I've seen photos of the short sleeve.
Do you reckon that means they're going to sell the short sleeve?
No, they'll sell long sleeve and then they'll just put short sleeve so they can wear skins underneath.
Oh, if they wear skins with that, it's going to look fucking dreadful.
I don't understand. Why don't they just rock the long sleeve Guernseys? They look fantastic. And we've got all 3 kits this season available in long sleeve. So it's not like, we don't have the availability.
Just not in the ultra weave though. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's
Oh,
why.
yeah. Surely they can make it.
Nah, surely they'd be able to make it. Well, because Morata, we were saying Morata has worn a long sleeve at home. He wore one and he pulled the sleeves a little bit
I wonder if that was a replica, not the actual authentic.
Would he be allowed to wear a replica?
Maybe that's why he didn't
wear whatever
score.
you want. The reason why they wear the ultra weave is because it's the lightest possible material. It's form fitting. That's the reason why they wear it.
Yeah, but also it's fucking cold over there now. Wear long sleeves. Wear a fucking
The
Kathmandu.
players you're talking about, like Pato and all those players before, they used to actually wear baggy XL.
Yeah. Well, the long sleeve jersey I bought this year, I sized up, so look at that, like baggy.
Yeah,
I fucking love it. I might even wear it this weekend, even though it's 40 degrees, just because it's fucking cool.
Yeah, 36 here in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
But yeah, I don't know why nobody wears long
Even
sleeves.
like Elsho, you had that long sleeve kit that he wore for most of the season when he had that one good season.
Do I have that? I don't have that kit.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, I thought you said I have it. I'm like,
Elsho wore it. I remember.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember him wearing a long sleeve kit because I wanted to get one because Elsho had one.
It's just so not. I don't understand.
I just don't understand it. It's controversial.
It's very controversial.
I'd like to know if there's any players listening.
Why does no one wear long sleeve anymore?
Can you phone in?
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend. Why do you not wear the long sleeve? And
But Paul, you've bought the.
Mind, can you get me one size medium?
Yeah, I bought the 125 year, the black and red one, but I looked at the plain black one, and I personally kind of like it. I like it because it seems like something you can wear.
It looks like a Bonds top.
Yeah, it does look. It's not gonna lie. It looks like my pajama top
it
in
does
winter.
look very plain.
$160 for a Bonds top.
It does look very plain, but I think it's quite classy.
One thing I do like, and you were talking about it before, and it just hit me with the no player name on the back. I just think then, like, if you have a number that's obviously you're gonna have a number that's synonymous with players, like number 5 for Maldini,
Like
stuff
69
like that.
for Andre Silva.
Yeah, number 69 for Andre Silva.
Maybe
and
number
stuff
3
like
for Maldini.
3. Sorry, my
Number
bad.
5.
Sorry, I meant number 3. Yeah.
That's sacrilegious.
I was saying that.
It could
Sorry.
have been worse. You could have said number 2.
No,
Then we really
sorry.
would have kicked you out.
Number 9 for
Sorry.
Baresi.
Yeah, no. My bad.
Upside down 9.
But that's the thing, you could get like the number 9, and like no one will know what player you're thinking of. You know, like I could,
100%.
but this thing, I could get number 9 and be like, well, my favorite number 9 of all time is Pato, but no one needs to know. They'd be like, oh, he bought it in like for Inzaghi. Yeah, sure.
You got to get over it. Pato was good when he was number 7.
Yeah,
not
but
number
he's
9.
still been a number 9, so I'm allowed to say it.
So is Torres.
Yeah, well, Fernando Torres is a great player.
He literally played 10 games.
He's still he's not a Milan legend, but he's a legend that played for Milan. You can't say he's not.
Any of those players that pick up those numbers of those former legends, they're trying to imitate something that they'll never.
Emerson Royale.
They'll never replicate. Let's just put it exactly. They're trying to imitate someone that they'll never replicate. Kaká just there, like you're a fullback.
Oh, actually, I just thought of something. Really, again, we'll finish this up, but one last thing. Camarata, obviously number 73.
Yeah.
Do you give him the number 9 at some point?
Oh, good. That's a
when Morata goes, do you give him the number 9?
Morata's not a number 9, is he?
I think if he keeps,
he's not number 9. He's number 7.
Why am I missing these numbers up so bad?
Kamada was number 9 in Primavera. Like he can be, like if he wants number 9 one day, they'll probably give it to him. If
Jovic is that number 9.
That's right. Sorry, Jovic, not Morata's number 9. Do you give it to him after this season?
But maybe he's the type of kid that knows the type of players and those players that played with those numbers, and he wants to make 73 his number. Maybe he had when he was in the youth.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if he became as big of a talent as we think. If he did rock number 73 rather than number 9.
I'd be happy to remember 73 if he ends up being the player that
because that's the thing,
I hope he's going to be.
If he becomes the player we all think of, like I feel like he'll be less synonymous with the number 9 because I don't. It's hard to say now, but I don't know if as a team we don't get the results that we got when Inzaghi was our number 9, I think it's going to hold him back. Whereas like if he keeps number 73 and becomes Inzaghi's level,
or Van Basten,
yeah, it's just like if he gets to that kind of level, like one of the best strikers in the world, I still feel like it might hamper him a little bit. That like and then in 30 years when people look back at it, like he'll just fall into that list of number 9s, whereas being number 73, like, everyone remembers 73. Yeah, it's almost like, as much as I hate to say the name, like Donnarumma with the number 99. Like that's...
Or Balotelli with 45.
Yeah, 45 Balotelli 45, like...
Ronaldinho 80, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think he's already sort of made 73.
Yeah. I mean, I'm tempted to get a jersey when I go over, to be honest.
I already got one.
When we got our signed jerseys, do you remember I said, should I get Kamada? And you were like, nah, that's a bit stupid. And Paul got a Kamada. He got the Kamada jersey, and I regret it.
Yeah, look, you're talking to somebody that's a diehard Alessandro Pato fan. I have PTSD. Like we were talking about before the podcast, I have so many jerseys of players that didn't work out that I get
that's
too scared. Exactly. I'm the only one with a Hashim Muscle jersey in the world. Right, I get worried when it's too, like, I get scared. I'm like, oh, I'll get a Kamada jersey.
I'll get you a Rolly jersey for Christmas. How does that sound?
No, I'd rather Kamada the jersey. I'll be the one in Milan buying you jerseys on Christmas. What the fuck are you talking about?
Look, guys, let's leave it there. I wanna say thank you, Anthony.
Let's just finish this.
Yeah, let's finish this. I want to say thank you, Armando and Anthony, for coming on the show today. It seems like every time we do this, we might, do worse one week, do better the week after, but I think the key for us now, as a podcast, is just to keep, being consistent and improving and learning, and not sort of like what I'm sort of aiming for is not to have like a production value going, but for everyone that comes on this show to be authentic. And I think you guys, and also the Marco and Yamani and the rest of them that have come on to this show, just to be authentic and be yourself. And I think that we have achieved that because we're not. This is the way we are. This is the way we talk about stuff. When we come here on a Saturday morning, we don't talk as much, but we're
half asleep.
We're half asleep. That's right. But
Mark would just hand you a coffee.
But it's really refreshing for me to see that we're all authentic in the way we represent ourselves on this show. So thank you very much.
Well, I just want to say, I mean, it's been so much fun doing this. I'm gonna have to take a sabbatical because I'm going to Europe for 6 weeks.
You don't want to dial in the middle of the night?
Yeah, no worries. I'll dial in the middle of the night. No worries.
It wouldn't be in the middle of the night. What's the time now in Milan? Let's have a quick look. I think it's actually
probably be a decent time. It'd be morning, wouldn't it?
10:50. You would come on.
Oh, at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
It's all right. Yeah, no worries. I'll just zoom in on at 10 a.m.
We might work something out.
You know what? You can get me on the podcast after Milan Cagliari because I'll be there in person. If there's another 3-3, I might put my head through a window. But anyway.
Yeah, the morning of, just before the game or something. No, we'll work something out. But if you really want to be on the show, we can get you on. Otherwise, enjoy your trip and
I'll live stream it. I'll live stream the game for you guys. There you go.
yeah. Definitely
I'll
take
cancel
footage.
be in for the month.
Yeah, cancel me in for the month.
Bring-
Just be
bring
me
your
like this.
scarf.
Oh, of course, I'll bring the scarf and
Take
my
some
long
photos.
sleeve away jersey.
You're gonna need it.
I'm gonna wear it, and I'm gonna hold a sign that says "Why no one wears
Why
this."
is no one wearing this? Where's screw the skins? What's on your plate?
Oh, God. All right. Take it easy, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thanks for
everyone.
listening, guys. And see you maybe next week. Take it easy. Bye.